Hello again and welcome to my channel, Professor Learnwell. This week we're going to be looking at writing capital letters. Our first 4 videos were about teaching precursive, that's unjoined letters. Now in our capital letters we always start at the top but not quite touching the line above, which I'll explain in more detail in a moment. Holding a pen like this and sitting comfortably, as you can see, as usual, I'm using a thicker than normal pen points, purely so it shows up in the video. So starting almost at the top, holding your paper with your left hand, if you're right-handed, slope down to the left, touching the line below, lift, back to the top, slope down to the right, lift and cross. The letter B, starting at the top, down to the bottom, lift, back up to the top, round, back to the line, round again, back to the line. The letter C. And lift. The letter D, starting again almost at the top, and a straight line down to the line below, lift, and here we're making a semicircular shape, and join at the bottom. The letter E, and now you can see why I prefer not to touch the line above, so that in normal writing in a normal exercise book on normal line paper, we don't join to the letter above, leave a slight gap. Down to the bottom, along to the right, lift, back up to the top of the vertical line and across to the right, lift, in the middle, cross over to the right. The letter F. Again, just below, down to the bottom, lift, across to the right, lift, across to the right. By the way, there are no lead outs on capital letters because whatever letter follows a capital letter, they are never joined to each other. So there are no joins when we're writing capital letters. The letter G, very similar to the letter C above, start just below the line, curve up slightly, now nice round curve to the left, down to the line below, back up, down to the line, lift and cross. The letter H, starting almost at the line above, straight down to the bottom, lift, about this distance apart, almost at the top, back down to the bottom, lift and cross. The letter I. Straight line down to the bottom, lift and neatly cross. And this distinguishes the letter I from the number 1. The letter J. Starting almost at the top, down just before we reach the bottom, we curve to the left, stop there, lift and cross. The letter K, starting almost at the line above, down to the bottom, lift. From the top here, we slope down to the left, to the midpoint of this line, lift, and at this point here, we slope down to the right. Some schools might slope from that point there. The letter L, almost at the top, down to the bottom, and simply along to the right, and lift. The letter M, we start at the top, down to the bottom. Some schools might actually say slope slightly to the left. But I'm going to go straight to the bottom on this case, lift, slope down to the right, touching the line below, back up to the right, and down to the line below. your child might be taught to do the N like this. You'll see the difference in a moment. Slope down, but only halfway, back up to the right, almost a line above, and down to the bottom. The letter N. Starting at the top as always, just missing the line above, down to the bottom, lift, slope down to the line below, and back up in parallel to that line there. The letter O. Start in the way we did the C, go up, round, back up, and complete the circle. The letter P. Starting at the top, down to the bottom, lift, curve round to the right, but back to the main ascender just here. The letter Q. First we need to make the letter O again. Curve up slightly, curve round to the left, curve right to the bottom to the line above, complete the circle, lift and cross. The letter R. Start at the top, down to the bottom, lift, curve round to the right, join the main ascender, lift, and at that point there, slope down to the right, unless your child is specifically asked to slope down to the right at that point. The letter S. Just below the line, curve back up slightly, curve to the left, round to the right at this midpoint, curve again, down to the right, curving now to the left, touching the line just there, and finishing at that point there. The letter T, starting at the top, simply down to the bottom, lift, and cross. Trying to get that in the middle there. The letter U. Starting at the top, down to the bottom, curve along to the right, back up to the top. As simple as that. The letter V. Starting at the top, slope down to the right, to the bottom, bounce back up to the right. The letter W, very similar to the V. We slope down to the right, bounce back up to the top, almost to the line above, slope down to the right, bounce back up, trying to get a nice symmetrical shape as many of the capital letters are. Our next letter is the letter X. We start at the top and we slope down to the left, lift, and make our cross just here, and slope down to the right to the line below. The letter Y. We start at the top, we slope down to the right, but only halfway, then we lift, back up to the top, slope down to the left. Our last letter, of course, is the letter Z, or Z. Starting at the top, over to the right, slope all the way down to the left to the line below, and along to the right, and that's finished. So that's rather quick, I'm afraid. So I might well be doing another video without speaking, but forming the letters in the same way, a little bit slower, so you can write along at home if you wish. Thanks for watching. And if you have liked this, please click like, and I do hope you subscribe to this channel, and thank you again till next time.